Take two because throat. Hello there, everybody. This is CwapTheNintendin here, and welcome to another edition of Platinum Impressions. Because I love talking about games and critiquing them as I talk along and stuff. So, today, the game I'm going to be talking about is a bit more adult. A lot more adult. Like, rated M adult. South Park Stick of Truth. Yeah. For the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Steam for PC. So, South Park games I've read aren't really the best in the world, per se. There was one on the N64, which was bad. A minigame collection for, I think, Dreamcast. Tenement's Revenge for 360, but I've never played it. A tower defense game, which I never played. Basically, this is the only South Park game I've ever played. Yeah. And then there was this game, which, until I got it for 360, I only know that apparently you can create your own character, and Obsidian is developing the game, and apparently Obsidian's a very good developer, so hopefully I thought this game will be good, and sure enough, when the game came out, people were liking it. So, in due time, I got the game this past summer. I played it for about 3 sessions, the third session being a really, really long one, like all day long, and bam, there we go. Here we are. I keep doing small burps in my mouth because I just ate. So, South Park The Stick of Truth. You are the new kid. You can make your own character with all these customizations to your character, such as you can go through black skin, white skin, spray tan skin, all that jazz. Yeah, they seriously have spray tan, and there's so many hair choices, so many shirt choices, pants, just face options, there's so much customization in the characters, not even funny, but anyway. So, you're the new kid, moving to South Park. Your parents go tell you to make some friends since you just moved there, and of course you run into the usual bunch of South Park characters. You run into Butters, you run into Cartman, Clyde, Princess Kenny, who is the best ever, and you inadvertently get assigned into a war against the Dry Elves, against Cartman's clan, the Kingdom of Koopa Keep, which is the KKK, which I didn't even notice until, like, later on, but anyway. They're in a battle to obtain the Stick of Truth, which is basically whoever controls the stick controls the universe. So, there you go. And it's their usual, like, game or whatever. They know it's a game, and yet, somehow, the fate of the entire South Park rests in their hands or something. Pretty much just like South Park always does. And it's pretty much up to you to do things. Participate in battles, level up your character, customize your character, or whatever. It's basically your RPG lore, but in South Park style. And guys, I'm not even kidding, that's the whole skinny of the story. It goes much more into that, as South Park always does, in a ridiculous yet funny fashion. Yeah, without giving, like, too much away. So, I feel like the best part about this game is just the South Park humor. I love South Park as a show. Like, every single episode I've watched, I loved to death. And yeah, this game's humor is exactly like that. It's basically Trey Parker and Matt Stone being just as funny as ever, since they did indeed write the scenario to the game. And a whole bunch of stuff you've never done in a game, you'll be doing here in South Park. Like, I'm not even joking when I say this, but there is indeed a part in the game where underpants gnomes shrink you down to size, and you have to grow to normal size, and then you go into, like, your parents' room, and then they were talking about, like, why they moved there or whatever, and then they decide to do it. For real, they decide to do it. throughout the entire part of going inside the house, you hear your parents like just screwing each other. It's so hilarious. And because I chose like the black guy, because I chose the black character skin for it, when you eventually go into your parents' room small, it looks like their silhouette in the darkness, but for all other skin colors, they're just doing it. Oh god. It's so disgustingly hilarious. And that's pretty much the only part I'll ever tell you about, because a lot of the stuff you've never done in a game before, seriously. And, of course, in going with the humor, the writing is very awesome. Cartman is just as funny as ever. Butters is just as awesome as ever. Awesomely cute as ever. And, of course, you're the silent protagonist, as if they're playing along the fact that you're a silent protagonist. So, yeah. Another thing about... So, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. I can't talk. Another part of this game that people really love is the graphics themselves, because, well, generally speaking, unless it's Adventure Time, Hey Ice King, pretty much any licensed game has the official show's artwork on the cover, and it just turns out to be like a 3D game where it apparently looks very ugly. This is not the case here. South Park: The Stick of Truth looks exactly like the show. Seriously, it pretty much is note for note how the show looks like. They just took the assets from the show and just put it into the game. And even if it's on like a very advanced console, like whatever it is, it still looks like South Park should. Like, there's a shot at the beginning of the game where like the movers are moving into your new house. And they even got the pixelation of the things down well. So, yeah, South Park: The Stick of Truth, the best part of it is that it looks exactly like the show, and it's as hilarious as the show. So, there you go. But now onto the gameplay. Because this is developed by Obsidian, South Park: The Stick of Truth is an RPG. An RPG of sorts. But, first things first, actually. First things first. If you're planning on getting this game, get it digital. I'm serious. Like, the game recommends that you install this game onto your Xbox 360 hard drive, or get it digitally. Meaning, basically, get this game off of Xbox Live Arcade, PlayStation Network, or Steam. Well, Steam is clearly the superior version because it has virtually no loading times or something. But if you're playing it off a disc, oh my god, you're gonna get frame rate issues, you're gonna get loading time issues. Pretty much almost as bad as 06 even. Like, I played the first like 20 minutes off of the disc. I was like, oh my god, what are these issues for? I mean, why? And then I took the game's advice, and luckily I had enough space on my hard drive to actually install the game onto my flash drive. So there you go. And pretty much frame rate issues are non-existent, loading times have been cut down tremendously, and all that good stuff. So, yeah, get this game digitally if you don't want to run into those frame rate and loading time issues. But, yeah. South Park: The Stick of Truth is an RPG. You level up your character, you customize your character with weapons, headgear, body gear, even pants gear, and there's so much customization to this game, it's not even funny. Like, you'll forget what your character first looked like by the time you get to the final boss of the game, because there's so much customization to it. You can dye your hair, you can equip it with crowns and stuff, and they're all objects that you would think are not so useful and stuff. Like, basic headgear, wizard's robes, warriors, clothes, etc. and stuff. And some of them are just pure cosmetic, like hair dye and I think sunglasses is one. Actually, I don't think sunglasses is one of them. But whatever. Basically just outfit your characters with the best kind of you know, weapons like spears, baseball bats, all that good stuff. And yeah, and stuff. So about the whole battle system, I actually really do enjoy it. Like, people keep comparing this to like the Paper Mario RPG style, which I haven't played that game yet and I need to. But I can definitely see why this is sort of like Paper Mario. You have your regular attacks, you have your special attacks, you have your basically magic attacks where you basically fart on people. And yeah, there are different kinds of farts. Like sneaky farts, the big dragon shout fart. And basically how the whole attacking system works is that you press the button in time with the weapon shining and stuff, so you'll do additional damage and stuff. And your partners actually do have plenty of special abilities going around, like Butters having his warrior hammer like Thor. That's the best one. Like Butters is like the best party member to have, because he has like the best attacks. Like he has his Professor Chaos summon attack, where you basically do a roulette thing to choose how you attack your opponents. And he's also kind of the healer too, which how he heals you, I don't know. He has a soda drink, which is basically a potion to you. You know, he does some magic. Or he basically just pats you on the back, giving you support. He's like, ah, there it is right there. I can't do Butters' voice, but that is adorable. That is just so freaking adorable. Butters is just the best. Just ever. And, yeah. Princess Kenny is also a really good party member too, because basically what Kenny does is that he... You know in the early episodes where he dies a lot and sometimes he gets dragged by rats? Yeah, he uses his rats as one of his special attacks. And another one of the attacks that Princess Kenny does is that he kisses his opponents and they get grossed out, which is basically the equivalent of poison. And the after effects of the attack are just amazing. There's one of them is like, syphilis! That's so good! That's so funny. And other great stuff. I'm trying to think what Stan does. Like, Stan is basically your swordsman. And he has this attack where he calls his old gay dog, and he attacks you, and he attacks the opponent and such. That is pretty cool. And he has this sword attack where it's like the beginning of the animation is just him holding up the sword against the fiery background with his dog in the background, and he has an unleashed wave of attack, and you basically time it in the press of the button. That is pretty cool and very fun to use. I don't often use like Jimmy a lot as a party member, because Jimmy is basically the bard of the group, and he has like a whole bunch of music-based attacks, like Lullaby, which puts you to sleep. His special attack though is pretty cool. Basically he just blows this huge yodeling horn, like you repeatedly press the button, and the music is so ringing on the opponent's ears that it makes them crap their pants. It's so hilarious. Yeah. And other party members have their own unique abilities too, but whatever. So, this game also has plenty of quests for you to do. I believe a lot of quests gives you, like, basically, what am I trying to say? Oh yeah, what I'm trying to say here. This game also uses Facebook integration into its game. They put Facebook into their own game. And the way to actually get more powerful special attacks is to make more friends by either meeting them throughout the story or doing quests about them. So, you get characters like Butters, Cartman, Stan, Kyle, the Goth Kids into the story, which I finally learned the Goth Kids' names throughout this game, thank God, because the Goth Kids are just as awesome as they are in the show. You can get other friends too through quests, like Randy Marsh, Sharon Marsh, Kenny's dad, Kenny's mom. Even Al Gore makes an appearance in this game. And also Man Bear Pig makes an appearance in this game. It's so great. He's super serial about Man Bear Pig, as always. And, yeah, it's basically kind of like Xenoblade in a way, where you do quests and you get rewards for doing that. Except, whereas in Xenoblade, you get rewarded experience for being an explorer. You get awarded perks like more health, more MP, much stronger defense, stronger offense through finding friends on Facebook and such. And it's really cool. It's really cool how they integrated this into the thing. It's quite unique in a way, but of course I'm talking of this as I played Xenoblade. Well, technically Xenoblade came out first, so it's not really unique, but it's kind of a unique spin on it, if that makes any sense. And, of course, as you level up more and more in the game, you get more powerful attacks. Like, I actually didn't even mention this. You play the game through one of 4 classes. You can either be a mage, fighter, Jew class, and, what other class? A mage is like a wizard, only not as cool. Oh, thief. Yeah, thief. Yeah, you can play as mage, fighter, Jew, or thief. Yes, Jewish is an actual class. And I gotta say, I'm playing through a second game. I'm doing a second playthrough as the Jew class, and Jujitsu is the best name for an attack. I'm sorry, but it is. You use Jewish as an attack. But I did my first playthrough as a fighter class, and never would you have figured that a baseball bat with a baseball would be enemies' most profitable things. Or most profits of demise, I don't know. But, yeah, the special attacks of things are really cool. And if I ever do an LP of it, I'll make sure to do a class I haven't played yet. So that will be like a blind playthrough of a class. But, yeah, the classes you play as are pretty cool. Maybe it's just me, but I wish you would change classes and for whatever you want. But whatever. The classes are pretty fun to use. Well, the one class I used are pretty fun, and mage and thief look pretty cool to use. So there you go. What did I say? Oh yeah. Now I have to address the whole thing about this game that people kind of don't like, for an RPG at least, is that it's kind of short. Yeah. And I did my first playthrough trying to do as many quests as I see them, because that's how I handle games. Like, I do them as I see them. So, my first playthrough, I capped it out at 9.5 hours, which is short if you're just going through the main story, doing whatever quests you can do at the time. Add another 3 or 4 if you're going through, doing completionist stuff. So, I guess that's kind of decent for an RPG. But, you know what? It's fun all the same. If it's a really long RPG, that's fun. I wouldn't care. But if it's a short RPG, but a short but fun RPG, I'd be okay with that. Since South Park Stick of Truth is not really that long, I can have fun with that. I can respect that. Yeah. But, anyway, about the whole soundtrack, it's South Park, and again, I believe it's the same guy who also does the music for the show, and yeah, it's really cool, just strolling around the streets of South Park while having this epic Skyrim piece, this orchestrated Skyrim-like piece playing in the background. It just makes it seem more epic than it needs to be, which South Park does a lot of that, seriously. And, what else was there? I can't really say anything else about the music that I like. It's just, I like the boss theme. And, I also like the theme where you're fighting in the parents' bedroom. It's just so perfect. It's like the perfect theme for what's going on while your parents are doing it. But without giving too much away, I will say that at least the penultimate area, while you're in the final area of the game, the music there is pretty awesome, especially for a particular boss fight, which will make you think of a certain episode of South Park that has to do with that same sort of scenario. That is also pretty cool that they added that in, and I watched the episode that the song came from, and I sung along to it. It's great. All that is great. So, there you go. I can't really think of anything else about the game since I haven't done like multiple playthroughs of it. So I will definitely recommend South Park Stick of Truth. South Park Stick of Truth is, well, despite being short, it's a great RPG. It's so full of originality, and it's South Park being South Park. It looks like the show. It's as funny as the show. Watch the show. Just watch the show to get what you're coming from. But I think you would have to watch like most episodes. Well, not most of them since there are like over 100, over 200 of them, but just kind of watch like South Park to get where you're coming from when you're playing this game, because if you're a fan of RPGs and South Park, I can say, hey, go get this game. It's brilliant. But if you're a fan of RPGs and not a fan of South Park, I think you'll get a lot of South Park into this as well. I can recommend this to anybody who likes RPGs, even if they haven't watched South Park. Just watch South Park and get this game. Also, I didn't mention this, but there are actually a lot of nods to the show that I really like too. Like, you can view different things in like the police station and Cartman's room and school, and they have all these little nods to the show. Like, they have Osimo in there, they have the Coon costume. Cartman, yeah, that's basically talking about Cartman's room. He has Osimo, he has the Coon, he has like, I think he has a Chim Pokemon in there or something. Which Chim Pokemon are collectibles, by the way. The school has a lot of these references to school-related episodes, like Cartman's book, like, what happened to my skill? And it's just funny. All of that is just funny. Also, if you want another scenario about what you don't do in other RPGs, the Touch of the Ginger is actually a status element attack. So yeah, that's the whole of South Park Stick of Truth without giving too much away. Brilliant RPG, so full of originality. Just get this game. It's awesome. So, I shall see you guys on the next episode of Platinum Impressions. See you guys on the next time.